Okay, so hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome and happy Peace Day. We are thrilled to be part of this global initiative organized by Masterpiece to mobilize young people and people all over the world to speak about peace, to showcase their wonderful work, and to show commitment to peace. My name is Taras Dubansky, and I will be moderating today's webinar. Our particular session today is being hosted by the John Paul II Center for Interreligious Dialogue, in partnership with the Oriental Study Circle and the Libertas Center for Interreligious Dialogue. Peace can be achieved through different means, in different ways, and by different people. Our session has the aim today to showcase Interfaithing Humanity, an intercultural and interfaith art project of creating a coloring book. Behind the project, there is a whole team, a group of dedicated individuals who for months have been working on the concept, putting images together, drawing them, and trying to convey deep senses. I still remember when this idea was born about 2 years ago. One of today's speakers and myself, we were in the Holy Land at that time, and we were walking on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. And we are discussing how interfaith dialogue can take different forms and expressions. Perhaps the inspiration for the Interfaithing Humanity came from that conversation, but we might hear about it later. Let me introduce our speakers for today, who will speak about different aspects of this project, Interfaithing Humanity. First of all, with us today, we have Natalia Pavlik, who is the head of the founder of the NGO, the Oriental Studies Circle, who works in the field of interreligious and intercultural dialogue. Natalia is actively engaged in various nonprofit activities in human rights, anti-discrimination, and peace building. She has participated and organized a number of projects in Europe and Asia. Natalia graduated from the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas in Rome, and she received her master's degree in ecumenical studies at Bosset Ecumenical Institute, which is part of the World Council of Churches and attached to the University of Geneva. Currently, she is a John Paul II Center leader and a PhD candidate in philosophy. Welcome, Natalia.
Thank you, Taras.
We have Dr. Ruslan Khaliko, who is a religious studies scholar. During 2016 and 2020, he was the president of the NGO Workshop for the Academic Study of Religions. Since 2020, he has become a member of the WASER board. He also has membership in other professional organizations related to the study of religions and Western esotericism. In 2017, he has established his own publishing house, which mainly deals with the publication of books on the study of religions. Since 2018, Ruslan has been working at the Department of World History and the Study of Religions at the Ternopil Volodymyr Hnatyuk National Pedagogical University in Ukraine. Welcome, Dr. Ruslan. Next, we have Sanya Stoyanova, who is a professional artist and an experienced icon painter, restorer, and illustrator. She is the founder of the Risovalli Art Studio in Odessa, Ukraine. She cannot imagine her life without creativity and dreams of her work pleasing the eye and bringing happiness to world peace. Ksenia is a specialist in religions and interfaith art, and she works as an art teacher with both adults and children. Welcome, Ksenia. And last, we have Vasil Sich, who is a PhD candidate in history and political science. The field of his expertise includes refugees, populism, history of ideologies, and interfaith dialogue. He is a vice head of the NGO, the Oriental Studies Circle. Vasil believes that combination of formal and informal education can qualitatively change the image of Europe and the world for the better. Vasil is involved in several international projects promoting European values, active citizenship, and interdisciplinary approaches to humanities. Currently, he is doing an internship at the University of Geneva in Switzerland. Welcome, Vasil.
Hello, everyone.
So let's start with our first speaker, Dr. Ruslan, Dr. Khaliko. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Do you hear me well? Vasil, could you please show us, share our PowerPoint?
Yes, I'm on my way to do this. So
cover.
Yes.
Like,
here it is.
Yeah, this one. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Ruslan, and I'm honored to be with you and to be your first speaker today. And I'd like to draw a general context of our discussion and to maybe highlight some details at the beginning. Interreligious dialogue today deals not only deals maybe a bit with intercultural or civilization relations. Religions are not determined geographically. Any of them can appear in any place, virtually or even physically, a demanding start of dialogue process for future sustainable presence there. And please, the first slide, Vasil. Thank you. So, what do we mean exactly when speaking about interreligious dialogue? Or how could people become interfaithful in terms of our presentation and our coloring book? For us, it is not only and maybe even not mostly about theological issues, theological discussions. People of different religions could treat this type of dialogue as dangerous for their belief and enclose themselves to others. So we are not going to reach heaven together. But the next slide, please. When we are talking about interreligious dialogue and interfacing humanity, we are talking about situations where faithful people can work together on solving problems of this life. For example, issues of pandemic, of military conflicts, poverty, and so on. This type, thank you, Taras. This type of dialogue is not a dialogue between religions, but between religious people. And actually, oh, Vasil, probably we should pause. Yeah, previous slide, please. Yeah, this one. Thank you very much. This type of dialogue is not a dialogue between religions, but between religious people or also non-religious people or secular people, and but between people. And each of them can help others share their own experience and learn experience of other people. And this will help build community of like-minded, faithful people. The next slide, please. And why it is so important for us in Ukraine, and why do we speak about this? Because Ukraine is a special place to talk about interfacing. We are a multi-religious country where historically live believers of diverse religion traditions, non-religious people, secular people. Vasil, I see you 2 times here. You share your Zoom screen. Yeah, thank you. In Ukraine, 2 different Orthodox churches compete for primacy. 2 different Greek Catholic churches live in one country. Ukraine is motherland of Hasidic Judaism. It is a place of Helen Blavatsky's birth. We have probably more Baptist communities than any European country. We have the first Mormon temple in Eastern Europe. And being historically divided between different states and regimes, Ukrainians all the time tried to build relations with different others and even among themselves, among ourselves. And we saw all the waves of mass migration. This land has witnessed all kinds of nomads, both world wars, and even now there are 1.5 million internally displaced people just this time in Ukraine. And interreligious dialogue is extremely required for keeping our society in peace. Even after Soviet period, we have about one religious organizations for each 1,000 people. And these organizations compete and collaborate at the same time. And the result of this collaboration, you can see it on this picture. Actually, this is like meeting of Ukrainian interfaith dialogue community. And maybe people who would probably see each other in hell in future life, instead of that, they see each other as partners in reaching common good here. And that is why we are going to share our experience with others for improving religious peace in Europe. And actually, this interreligious dialogue will work better, as I told before, not in a theological framework, but in framework of art, in framework of sharing experience and working together in this life. And how will we speak about this interreligious dialogue? Actually, within this project framework, I'd like to ask Natalia to tell more detailed information about our mission here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ruslan. So Natalia, the word is yours. Please present the interfaithing
community. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Ruslan, for this rich and informative introduction. Following on what has already been said, I'd like to pay more attention to our interfaith coloring book project. And I'd like to say that nowadays, in the light of the increase in religious and cultural diversification in Europe, as well as at the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, people often transmit an inadequate picture of religious minorities, and they often reproduce a stereotypical perception of the other. Moreover, the representation of different religious groups in media as obstructive and dangerously irresponsible amid the pandemic leads to episodes of both psychological and physical violence based on religious grounds. It appears that the standard methods of talking about religious tolerance might be not effective enough in these circumstances. Operating the visual content could bring a more efficient impact on the positive image of religious communities in society, and also decrease the social pressure, unite believers and non-believers in one community. So in order to prepare the grounds for a cultural revival of Europe after this crisis, we decided to create an interfaith coloring book. And next slide, please, Vasily. And actually, we see it as a unique tool for empowering interreligious dialogue and human solidarity in European society through art and creativity. So the main idea of this coloring book is to unite representatives of different religions and faith groups existent in Europe in one safe environment. And actually, yesterday I tried to count how many traditions we managed to present on the pages, and I think around 29, but maybe even more. So we included different denominations of Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, and also Jainism, Taoism, shamanism, Sufism, new religious movements, religion of Bon, Native American faith, Ukrainian faith, agnosticism, secular views, so many different traditions and spiritual approaches. And also we try to present situations which can show us the diversity of religious communities in different geographical areas and historical times. And the next slide, please. And here you can see the examples of 3 different illustrations from our coloring book. So the main idea is that representatives of different religions are meeting in daily situations. And by immersing in such original and unexpected life situations, the reader, besides having fun, can also learn about various traditions, their cultural backgrounds and achievements, such as dances, food, sacred geography, architecture, and many others. And here, particularly on the first picture, you can see a Christian monk and a yogi who are playing Twister in the very city center of Kiev at Maidan Square. The second picture represents a Jain nun, an Orthodox monk, and a Sikh who are visiting the hairdressers, and they're having an interesting conversation about their hairstyles. And the last picture represents traditional dances next to the bonfire. And we can see the Pentecostal girl, Sufi, and others. The next slide, please. Vasily. I think we have some connection problem.
But we have more time to look at these pictures.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, the images are fantastic, very inspiring. So many details as well.
Oh, Vasily, can you share the presentation, please?
I'm not sure he's with us.
Yeah, I'm here, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on my way to share the presentation. So here it is. Sorry for my internet and for my background. So.
And the next slide, please. Oh, and here we can see two pictures. And the first one represents Japanese Olympics. And of course, you can see our artistic interpretation on what happened during the Olympic Games. And on the right hand, there is a picture where representatives of different religious traditions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, are praying together or simultaneously during their medical shift during the outbreak of pandemic. And actually, we took this image from the real life event, because I think many of you have seen this picture in the media. So it happened in the real life. Of course, with some interpretation from our side. And the next slide, please. So interestingly enough, the coloring book will also include some special annexes. And we plan to use them as an informal and non-formal educational tools. For instance, among them, there will be some scratching cards, stickers, postcards, and a bookmark, which can be used as a learning tools. Also, besides being published, the coloring book will be available online so that everyone will be able to download it and print it without leaving home. Also, a special online platform will be created for open discussions and sharing the artworks. And all of these will be dedicated to helping people to raise their solidarity in the times of social distancing and times when they are not allowed to leave their homes. Also, I'd like to share with you some objectives of our project. So first of all, it's to provide an individual with an opportunity for personal interaction with representatives of different religious traditions. And of course, to give a safe space to reflect on the importance of interreligious dialogue. Secondly, it's to raise intercultural sensitivity. Thirdly, to share good practices and exchange experiences in preventing interfaith clashes and building bridges for dialogue. Also, it's to innovate non-formal educational methods and encourage learning by doing. Moreover, We plan to empower self-motivation and artistic skills of people, to stimulate social inclusion of disadvantaged groups, and of course, to express the solidarity with people across closed borders. And the next slide, please. And here we come to our target group. But it's quite difficult to define it because our target group is rather vast, because our project is unique and it aims to unite civil society, academia, and religious communities from different parts of Europe in one space environment. And we are trying to do this coloring book as inclusive and interesting for different audiences as possible. So it should be engaging for children and elderly, for students and scholars, for youngsters and youth and social workers. So for everyone who is interested in the topic of interfaith dialogue and culture of solidarity. So we also aim to involve participants with fewer opportunities, and we do hope that this book will be significant tool for social workers and volunteers who are working with refugees and religious or ethnic minorities as well. And next. Yes, and here you can see partners for this project. Also, you can use this QR code to join our web page. And thank you so much for your attention. And I am giving the floor to our master, our painter, Ksenia.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to join you today. Do you hear me well?
Yes, yes.
I hope so. My name is Sanya Stoyanova. I'm artist, illustrator, iconographer from Odessa, Ukraine. Today I'm participating in a group exhibition, and therefore I have a few minutes to greet you. I create all those illustrations, and it was very difficult for me on some moments, but this topic of the conversation with God has been essential for me on my life, all my life, because my father was icon painter and I helped him since my childhood. It was interesting process of creating all those pictures. It was real challenge for me. So many details and so many new human poses because of big amount of details I didn't know before. And I'm so grateful to Natalia who helped me to find them out. It was exciting journey, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of this great idea. I'm very glad and very excited, and I'm glad to that I did it, and it happened to me. All my thoughts are expressed in my drawings. So thank you again, and take care.
Thank you so much. I mean, the few illustrations that we saw are really wonderful. And I don't know, if you have time, maybe we can have a little discussion afterwards. So will you stay with us for a few more minutes? Ksenia? Wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful. So,
yes.
Yes, we give the floor now to Vasil, who is the last speaker. Then we open the floor to discussion and for the interactive quiz, which I announced in the chat box. Vasil, the screen is yours.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I'm so sorry for some technical issues that we have, unfortunately. Okay, I will be a leader of this quiz that you can see on the chat. first of all, I'd like to say that it will be quiz with some presents. The present it will be our coloring book, which we will send to you for the winner of this quiz. It will be very short, very easy and very good. I hope so. Quiz. So what we need for it? First of all, we need your phone, so laptop or tablets, whatever. It's free. You have to tap on Google Kahoot Play. I will share my screen so you can see how it's called correctly. So it's Kahoot Play. Okay, after then you have to
excuse me for interruption, just to let you know that we have an instruction in our chat box, so you can just click on the link and go directly to the screen where Vasily is.
I'm already in. You can see my name, so join the platform.
Yes, so we are waiting for other participants. It's like just two here. It's not very good.
Remember, the prize is there, so keep your eyes on the prize, as they said.
Yes. So, okay, we have Father Nakash, newcomer. So, welcome, Father Nakash. You can join our quiz. So you can read instruction on the chat and put this pin. Oh, okay, good. It's already 5. Waiting for Father Nakash. Waiting for Father Nakash. So you can take our coloring book for this quiz. So go ahead. Okay, maybe I think maybe 30 seconds and we can start. Yeah. Okay. So, who's else? No? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm starting. Okay, I'm starting. So, in your phone, you will see different colors with which will be means different answers. So you can choose on your phone correct answer. So, when did the first modern attempts of interreligious dialogue begin? You can read this one on your screen and put correct color. It was in 1893, 1865, 1810, 1910, 1945. Oh, good. Just 2 participants answered. So I think you have to put correct color on your phone, which is on this main screen.
So just click on the color where you have to click on it.
Yes, click on the color. So,
is it possible to zoom it a little bit to make bigger?
No, it's a maximum, unfortunately. Okay. So life is life. Okay, next one, Taras. Oh, Taras is the winner almost. So next.
I really want the book.
You'll take it. Okay. What is prohibited in some cantons of Switzerland? To teach ecumenism, to profess Pastafarianism, to build minarets, to visit churches on Sunday. So you have to put correct color on your phone.
So the colors are blue, green, orange, and red.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Oh, I think everyone recognizes how it's going on. So everyone is correct. Next one. Oh, Ruslan, we have a new leader. So again, in 2015, the Pope published an environmentally friendly encyclical Laudato Si. Do Orthodox have the similar document? Here is our coloring book picture. The main one, if you see. It's something with tree and stuff like that. Oh, just 2 answers. One more time. Okay. Ruslan is a winner right now. Okay, which country has become famous for online communion during the pandemic? You have to choose correct color and correct country. And oh, Ukraine, correct, it's Ukraine, you know. In Ukraine, we even have, oh, Republic of Idea, you know. I like this answer. So, you know, in Ukraine, a couple of months ago, we even was presented like a book related with online communion. Okay, next one. Which Christian denomination is the fastest growing faith in the contemporary world? Just very easy. Couple of variants. Okay. Oh, it's Pentecostals, just two correct answers. So next one. Ruslan is a leader, supreme leader. So next one is almost the last one, but it's very easy. Which drink was invented by monks?
Everyone.
Every drink.
Every drink. Okay. So 7 answers. Okay. Oh, almost correct. Almost correct. Champagne in cappuccino. Cappuccino, of course, you know, as like Capuchinos monks, and champagne was a great legend that French monk invented it. Oh, vino is Madeira. Of Madeira, it's like wrong answer. Followers of which religion had been wearing face masks before it became a mainstream? I think it's also very easy for you. Okay. Oh, Taoist. Okay. Interesting. But Jain is correct answer. So, oh, Ruslan in the fire. So the last question, and I think, do you like our coloring book idea?
Fantastic, I think.
We'll see. No, people are still thinking. Okay, I think everyone answer is correct one. So we have winner, Spain, Irene, and the biggest winner is Ruslan. I think we can share our coloring book with everyone in PDF variant, but we of course we can send like a real book to the winners, like first, second, and third place. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for your
participation. But can we ask who is Wayne?
Vane, who is Vane or Wayne? Can you show your face? Vasil, maybe you can stop sharing the screen.
Yes, I already, yes.
Is it Vanessa?
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Yes, it's me. Hello.
Wonderful. Thank you, Vasil, for this interactive quiz, and congratulations to all the winners. And let's have a little discussion, a little conversation around this project and around peace. So let me, as a moderator, maybe I'll ask the first question to Dr. Khaliko, Ruslan. You mentioned a little bit in your speech that, you know, in Ukraine, the churches try to compete for primacy or for recognition. So there is a competition between churches or religious communities, but also there is dialogue, right? So maybe from your experience, what do you think has been the biggest achievement of dialogue, either ecumenical or interreligious, in Ukraine or anywhere in the world? What do you think is the biggest achievement since we started to dialogue with one another?
I don't know if I can speak about all over the world, but in Ukraine, I think our unique situation as for Europe is the biggest, largest achievement, because we have so great diversity of religious organizations. We have such a big number of religious organizations in Ukraine, and they probably this very feature you mentioned, the competition between them, but competition in a democratic and in a civilized way, I'd say. It helped to build a society where all or maybe almost all religious traditions and people without belonging to any religious tradition feel themselves as good citizens, and our society has this more or less sustainable peace between different religions. So I think this situation is achievement of great work done by religious communities, and actually also by our society in general.
So it's a healthy competition, in other words, right?
More or less, but I'd say more healthy, yeah.
Thank you.
It is very productive, because this competition helps each community, each organization to do their best and to try to be the best version of itself.
Thank you, Ruslan. And I would also have a question to Ksenia. Ksenia, can you hear us? Oksana?
Yes, I hear.
Yes, so my question to you is, of course, you paint icons, right? And there's a difference between iconography and just secular art, right? What do you think this project has given to you personally? What did it mean to you to paint these different scenes of Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, Jews? What kind of transformation, if there was any transformation for you personally, what did it mean to paint these stories or these scenes?
I understand everything, but I can say everything that in my mind.
So what was the most challenging part? What was the most challenging part for you to do?
It was my need. I use simple forms that will. I can in English say about this. Maybe in Ukrainian.
If it helps, you can speak in Ukrainian and Taras can translate into English.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. Мне кажется, что самое важное было для меня это использовать универсальный язык простых форм и простых рисунков, который будет понятен всем и близок всем.
Yes, so what she tried to do is that to use the universal language that would be accessible to everybody, simple forms understood by everybody. So it's inclusive, very inclusive in character.
Вот. А еще мне кажется, что внешность людей, она очень была, эти люди среди нас, какие бы религиозные атрибуты они не надевали бы на себя. То есть это каждый один из нас, персонаж этой раскраски, это все мы.
So what she tried to show here is the common humanity. Although different characters in this coloring book, they wear different, they wear different clothing, they have hats, they don't have hats, they have different appearances, but it's the common humanity that she tried to show through the images. So that's something that's very unifying and uniting to all of us. Дякую. Thank you so much, Ksenia. And let me ask the question to Natalia, the ideator of this project. So Natalia, with this project, today we are coming to the celebration of the International Day of Peace. And of course, peace is a very important concept in every religion. How do you think your project, Interfaithing Humanity, can actually promote peace? In which way?
Thank you for your question, Taras. So as you may have already understood, peace is the main aim of this Interfaith Coloring Book project. And I think that we all can see that in the contemporary world, talking about problems is not enough. And in our opinion, when we can work together, creating some artworks, masterpieces, this will definitely help to understand that, first of all, we are all human beings with the same dreams, feelings, life goals, or same or similar, regardless of our gender, color, or faith tradition. So I think such initiatives can be one small puzzle on the way of peace in the world.
Wonderful. Yeah, art has a very strong impact on the people. I remember when a few years I was in Colombia, and of course, Colombia had a very difficult moment decades ago. And what they started to do in Colombia, and actually it was with Masterpiece organization, they started to organize dance classes, so art classes, people were dancing, and it really transformed the whole city. So art has has a lot of potential and power to change for good. Okay, I'll stop here and let's see if we have questions from the audience to all of our speakers. So feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself and just ask the question. And before that, I'll just ask Vanessa to send me your email so we have it and we can send the coloring book to you when we have it ready. So just send it to me on the private chat. Yes, Pani Ludmila, go ahead.
I have a little question. How do you think about the sharing of this book? This book for schools, for pupils, or for universities, I think maybe even for our president and prime minister. It was a very good masterclass to understand the role of religions in our life.
Thank you, Pani Ludmila. So Natalia, how do you think you will share this book, or Ruslan?
So we are still thinking on how we can promote it and where, because we are not going to have too much copies. But of course, we plan to share it with different religious communities in Ukraine, schools, universities, libraries. Yeah, and we'll see how we can manage.
So who is
but also it will be available online, so everyone can download it and to use it at home.
So in your opinion, Natalia, who is the main target audience for your book?
Yeah, as we already mentioned, the target audience is very vast, so it can be students, their teachers, but also religious communities, and like everyone who is interested in this topic.
And presidents, of course.
Presidents and ministers, right? So high-level people. And also you mentioned, Natalia, that you have about 29 religious traditions represented in this coloring book, 29 or so. Just a question, did you get any feedback from any of those religious communities or any religious people? For instance, did you talk with the Muslims when you illustrated any scenes in the book? Did you get any feedback from them, or it's coming later?
Yes, of course. Many ideas were received from representatives of particular religions. And sometimes we even did not expect to put some ideas there. But after communication, we thought, why not? We can do it.
Yeah, wonderful. Yes, Pani Ludmila.
I know that our Ukrainian Ministry of Education this year proposed a new course for the schools, something about the neighborhood. How do you think, is our ministry could recommend your book for these studying, for these courses? What do you think?
Ruslan, maybe you can answer, not to take all attention.
Yeah, probably we will make proposal for at least for universities, but maybe for ministry as well. I don't know, will it be possible to include it in a school program this year, but maybe next year it will be possible. When...
Also, I can add to this. Can I? I think that for some official educational programs, it may be regarded as too much open-minded because some of the illustrations are very open for discussions and interpretations. So it might be difficult, but we will work on this direction.
And I have one very small question. Is any government from another countries interested in your project? Have you some letters or some proposals to share your project through another countries or not?
Actually, this is a project, I'll just remind you that this is the project which is funded by the John Paul II Center for Interreligious Dialogue. You know, it's a huge international center in the heart of Rome, in the Vatican, at the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas. And we have a network of more than 100 people in 40 countries. So I think once we have the book ready, we will definitely try to promote it in different countries, in different levels, be it through different religious organizations, churches, or even ministries, as you said, or the state authorities. Yeah, so it's a very good idea. Any more questions or comments?
Great.
Father Baiju, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so happy to participate, and it's a really wonderful project. And of course, from the European perspective, where the religious freedom of or the freedom of creativity is guaranteed, at least to a certain extent.
Can you just remind the people where you are from, Father Baiju, because not
Yes,
everybody knows you.
I am Father Catholic priest. I studied in Rome. And now I am present in India. I am the director of some social organization here in the diocese. I'm teaching in the Pontifical Seminary Moral Theology, Ethics, and Bioethics. And I'm so happy that last year I was a fellow of John Paul II in Russellbury Interreligious Dialogue Group. That's where I'm part of this. I'm so happy to see now they're widening our project and the concept sharing, and through various means it is shared. I have seen beautiful picture and a very good initiative. This is bringing courage, solidarity, interreligious dialogue through art and creativity. In India, we don't, this project, I'm afraid now the extreme Muslims or Islam, and then that group is so, they are taking us too seriously, that creative freedom is limited in India, we feel at present. And also the religious now, the Hinduism, the Hindu ideology, and a negative trend against Christianity. I'm afraid even the picturization of the imam who is praying that way or that position, and even saying, picturing the mosque like this, that would be tolerated, and how extent, as Natalia also mentioned. Yeah, so I mean the way of picturing this, and that shows the freedom of the thinker. And of course it has a genuine motive of a kind of sarcasm is there, self-criticism. There's a space for self-criticism. There's a place for really understanding the importance of coming together, helping others, and we are the same human person. And of course, this initiative is very much valuable and it must be promoted. And of course, in India also, situation might change after some times. And we had earlier we had that literary freedom and the self criticism and the religious harmony amidst all these variety of religions and traditions. At present, I'm just afraid of making it in a because the experience of the limited freedom that we are now experiencing. And I appreciate the good initiative of this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the Baiju. Of course, the situation in India, as also in some parts of the world, is very complex. But at least in the seminary where you teach, do you think the seminarians that you teach, would they be interested to see this coloring book?
Oh, definitely. They're very creative, and this picture, that's they will give more ideas to them and more joy to see. And this the Chinese Taoistic and you have in the picture the world religions are represented, and of course they're coming together. They are on the same bark and the same boat we are all. Then see there's a variety, so many points to be discussed, analyzed. That would be a great inspiration for the young seminarians, the future religious leaders of my country, and it's very interesting. Yes,
wonderful.
really.
It's a joy to see you for the Baiju, and we'll definitely get you a few printed copies to your seminary. Please stay well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really, it's a good initiative, and it is inspiration. Yeah, this could be our Muslim, Hindu, and Christianity. These are the three main religions here, and then of course this Islam, this Hebrew, Judaism is less represented here. But still, the way your picturization is provoking also certain ideas and getting inspiration. A lot of ideas. That's inspiring. Yes,
wonderful.
I'm
Thank
very
you for the
happy
Baiju.
with at least one copy of it. Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks so much. Okay, any other questions or comments people have?
Should we also ask the same question for Father Nakash from Pakistan? Are your seminarians, are your students will be interested in such a project, and are you willing to share it in your community?
As Father Baiju said, our culture from India and Pakistan, we are from the same culture, multi-religious culture. And do you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Our seminarians, I'm a rector of the seminary here in Pakistan, and I'm 100% sure when I will share with them, they will be happy to know about all this coloring book, because in our schools we are taught, especially here in the primary level, we are taught to draw the images. So I'm 100% sure they will be interested. They will be interesting. This is really interesting for them, and hopefully I will be sharing with them, and will be reporting the creator of the book.
Wonderful, Father Nakash. So it's a joy to see you with us.
Thank you.
Anybody else feel free to jump in. Yes, Tatiana Yastramska. Just unmute yourself, please.
Okay, here it is. I really appreciate this meeting, and that I'm happy being in social media to know about such a project, particularly from there. And I think it's incredible. It's fantastic, and there are a lot of epithets I can use about this project. And I'm speaking as a representative of a minority community, as a Muslim, and speaking as a mother. I have 11 years old daughter, and I think it's perfect to spend time with my kid in this way, coloring it, talking about religions, talking about diversity and about dialogue. And I think I'm sure that such thing should be part of I don't know, of our community, of our society. It's this way of interaction. This this unusual way. It always works better than giving lectures, than giving something else. It works always better. The images, the inclusion into some activities. So I really appreciate your efforts in this direction, and wish you to spread and to grow in this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pani Tatiana. Where do you live in Ukraine? You said which city you're from?
Yes. I live in Vinnytsia region in the Bar city.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for joining us today for this webinar, for this session.
Thank you too.
Any other questions or comments? While people think about questions, I have a question to Dr. Khaliko, to Ruslan. You work a lot with publications. You founded the publishing house, right, where you publish books or articles on religion. If you talk about the sacred text, right, sacred text, and then the image, sacred image, what do you think has an immediate effect on people's perception of the divine? Can we make that a sort of comparison between the sacred text and art, sacred art? What do you think about this?
Yeah, we can consider art actually as a text too, because it is not important if text is written with like letters, or if it is written by artists in this picture, because text speaks to us in different manners, and each text could be some symbol, or each text could mean something to people, and each text, whether it is written or drawn, could inspire us to do something. So text, whether it is like book, or it is icon, or for example coloring book, the text can inspire us to make some dialogue things, or it could inspire us to make some not very good things, like for example this pictures which inspired protests in after publishing in French journals and so on. So text could be written in absolutely different forms, and I think sacred reality shows us itself in different ways, whether it is Bible, or for example frescoes, icons in Christianity, and in different religions, text and sacred reality shows itself in very different manners. So,
And I have a follow-up question on this. In one of the slides, you actually had the image of the Tower of Babel, right? It's just an image, right? The fantasy of people, how they see the Tower of Babel. And of course, the Tower of Babel can mean different things to different people, right? But usually when I think about the Tower of Babel, I think about diversity and plurality. And what, to you personally, what does diversity mean?
Actually, I put this image in a presentation as a symbol of people who try to do something which is not good idea to do. It is not symbol of diversity for me, because it is a symbol of
we cannot hear you.
Now, do you hear me now better?
Yes.
So for me, Tower of Babel is like illustration of founding community on wrong aims, on wrong ideas. But the diversity is a normal state of human beings, and in different religions, people in different religions, even sacred text told these believers that diversity is normal and even may be good. For example, in Quran, there is a message that people are created in different manners, and all different people are good for God, and it is completely normal to be even people of different faiths. In Christianity, also Apostle Paul tell us in his letters that there will be competitions between church people, and it will be competition to find the most skillful among us. So diversity is not even like part of our life, but it is the only way of our life. If we are absolutely similar, it will be not interesting to live together, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. That's a good answer. But you see different, I mean, same images can mean different things. Like for me, when I see the Tower of Babel, for me, it's diversity, plurality. For you, it's, people going or building on the wrong foundation. So images can have different
of course,
meanings to different people.
That's why we do this project with images.
Wonderful.
To train our fantasy.
Okay, thank you again. And last chance to ask a question to any of the speakers or make a comment.
Just one comment.
Yes,
since this is going to be the universal book, we don't need the translation to bring it to our people, because these images can be known and can be understood by all without the help of education and all these things. I think it can reach to all without making difference among educated people and those who are not educated. I would like to request you kindly, when you send the PDF form of this book, send us like a form which is created like a book, so that when we print out, it should be printed out like a book, not just the papers. This is just my suggestion, if you can do it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Father Nagash. I think this will be taken into consideration, so people will be able to download the book and actually print it as a book, so it's easily distributed with your faith communities or with the children groups or teenagers for trainings. I think that's a wonderful tool to have, especially for trainings with young people, to engage them in such a way that art, is an instrument to bring about peace, understanding, and interfaith dialogue. Okay, I think we are almost out of time, so let me thank our speakers for today for the great job of presenting Interfaithing Humanity. Again, on behalf of the John Paul II Center for Interreligious Dialogue, we wish you peace in your houses, peace in your families. And I see Natalia has the hand up. So Natalia, of course, go ahead.
Just before we leave, I'd like to share with you my observations that today we're here, people from 7 countries, and this is so inspiring. Actually, I see people from Ukraine, Greece, Georgia, Ireland, Italy, India, and Pakistan. And I do hope that you all can contribute in sharing this initiative in your communities. And thank you for coming. This is very supportive and inspiring.
Yes, thank you, Natalia, for the great job. And please follow us on the social media, and we will definitely make an announcement when the book is finally out. So this can be emailed to you. And of course, Vanessa, you'll get one of the first copies because you won the prize today. Okay, we wish you again a nice Peace Day, which is upcoming very soon. And again, on behalf of the John Paul II Center and Master Peace in Libertas and the Oriental Studies Circle, we thank you very much for participating in this webinar. Have a good afternoon and have a great weekend, and happy International Peace Day.